Hello, everybody. Welcome to Zone Defense. Be sure to follow us on Spotify at Zone Defense Podcast and on Twitter at Zone Defense Pod. We want to say thank you to all of our new viewers from our last few episodes as well. However, a lot of you are not yet subscribed, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not already and smash that notification bell because it really helps out our channel a lot. Also, drop a comment down below and let us know your thoughts on today's topic. Today, Roman, Chris, and I will be doing an NFL skills player draft. How's it going, guys?
I'm good, Drew. This is the second one we're doing on the channel. However, I was merely a spectator and an observer for the first one, and I'm ready to draft today. I think there's going to be some different strategies between us. I know you guys are probably going to go best player available, but I might also go with a recency bias factor. So it'll be interesting to see who we take, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, let's jump into it, fellas. Drew, you got the first, or no, Roman's got the first pick. My apologies.
Take the first pick.
Yeah, go ahead. No, Roman, you got the first pick in the draft. You've been talking this one up all week. Let's hear what you're going to go with, man.
Yeah, so I think it'll be a pretty decently deep skill position players today. Not as much disparity as there was last time around. However, my first pick is going to be a player that none of you even drafted during your last draft. You said this player was going to regress heavily. You didn't trust him enough to take him yourself. However, he had a monster season, and he'll be great on my team. I will be taking running back Derrick Henry. Put him on my team, baby.
All right. I mean, my initial comments for this is, yeah, I don't think running backs matter that much. So it's a bad pick. It's a bad pick, man.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember saying that last year. Does my opinion hold true again heading into 2021? Maybe. I think, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see there. With Arthur Smith gone, will Derrick Henry still be good? Personally, it's not who I would have taken first overall. No. But nonetheless, good pick. You're exposing our old takes. But I'll hop into my pick here. I think number one, it should be pretty easy. I thought this was going to be the number one guy. I mean, when you look at as much as I'd maybe dislike this guy and this guy's team, I mean, I think there's clearly one best player, best team in the entire NFL. Even though they didn't win the Super Bowl this year, it's got to be Patrick Mahomes. We're doing two QBs here. QBs, it's a throwers league. So you got to go Patrick Mahomes here. Chris, I heard you say an expletive that I will not repeat because this is a child-friendly show. So I'm assuming you're upset that Mahomes went number 2 overall.
Yeah, my emotions got the best of me there. My apologies. But I'm going to take while I am upset you took Patrick Mahomes because I was hoping to stack these two players together, I am not leaving the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to take wide receiver Tyreek Hill, wide receiver 1. I'm not making the same mistake as I did last time, which is taking Julio Jones over Tyreek Hill when he was my wide receiver 1 for a skill position players draft. Maybe not actually the number 1 receiver in the league, but I just think, the advantage he would bring to any team with the speed is absolutely nuts. But I'm not stopping there. I'm going with another wide receiver right off the bat. I'm going to take the one of the best receivers in the league, helped his quarterback win an MVP. I'm going to take Devontae Adams, the wide receiver from the Green Bay Packers, and just try to go aerial assault this time. I'm not messing around. I might leave my running backs for one of the last couple rounds because I don't think they're that important. And also, I had Derrick Henry pretty low on my list as well, to spoil you on Drew. I think there's some running backs that would be a little bit more valuable in any system. Maybe not in the Titans system, you know what I mean? But, I think in any system, I think there's some running backs that I would take over him personally.
I think the Adams pick was pretty good. I think Adams probably had the best year of any wide receiver in 2020. And pairing him with Hill, that's going to be a force to be reckoned with. So good job there.
Yeah, no arguments here. I think both picks were good. I was hoping Tyreek Hill was going to drop, but I know, Chris, you're a big Tyreek Hill fan, so I was planning on him not being available here. I'm in an interesting spot right now because I feel like I could go any number of positions here. I could go quarterback again. I could go running back. I could go receiver. I think I'm going to go receiver because we got 3 receivers. This is the most spots we got to fill here. And as good as those two guys are, obviously, no denying there, I think you got to go with the guy who led the league in receiving yards last season. I've heard some predictions. Can this guy break the receiving yards record? Maybe. I don't know. But he's got a really good quarterback, really good offense as a whole up there in Buffalo. So I got to go Stephon Diggs as my wide receiver one. Chris, I think we might just be sharing rankings here because every time I make a pick, I hear you just going, "Oh crap."
Yeah, the plan was to go with Diggs with my next pick. So I'm not really that happy about that personally. I think you should decide to pick a different player personally.
Okay, we'll just rewind and I'll just help your team out because that's how these drafts work.
Sounds good to me.
Diggs was high on my board, but I'm happy you took him because there's one wide receiver who I'm definitely going to take with one of these next two picks. I got two in a row here. Still, Henry was the only running back taken off the board, so that's interesting to see if I can pair him up with someone. But I'll take my first wide receiver as well. Give me DeAndre Hopkins from the Colts, or from the Cardinals, excuse me. Arguably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I'd probably put him at the top. Absolute menace. I love him, and I'm glad he fell to 6, I guess, for me to take him.
Yeah, that one stinks, man. Another wide receiver I wanted to take, but it is what it is. It's a deep position. There isn't only one player. We'll find some guys for sure.
Yeah, he was the guy. Sorry to interrupt you there, Ron. He was the guy I was debating between. Was it going to be him or Diggs? I was kind of hoping he was going to drop to my next pick, but it is what it is. Really good pick there, Roman.
And there's a bunch of running backs still on the board. I guess you guys aren't valuing them as much, but I still take them pretty much into consideration with every pick. I think they're very much valuable, and especially if it's a skill position draft. I think you're going to want a bruiser in the backfield. That's why I took Derrick Henry number 1 overall. However, because there's a bunch of good running backs still available, I will also dip into a second wide receiver, a very young stud, I guess. So compared to Megatron a little bit, but I don't see the resemblance. I'm taking DK Metcalf with my next pick. Great season as well, and I'm glad he's on my team now.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That was another guy I was looking at with my next pick. It makes my decision a little bit easier for who to draft next, but it's definitely a good pick because that was one of my next picks for sure.
Yeah. I feel like the top 4 guys are Hill, Adams, Diggs, and Hopkins, in my opinion. But Metcalf is definitely in the charge there of that second group, still a really, really good receiver. But with my next pick, I don't think I'm going to go receiver again because I'm looking right now. You guys, Chris already hinted he's going to take another receiver. Roman's only got one receiver left. So I probably have my pick of the litter here when we come back around for my next pick. So I'm looking at quarterback or running back, maybe tight end. And I think that is where I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go tight end here. I'm going to take Travis Kelce.
Crap.
Oh, wow.
That stings. I was trying to get the other Kansas City weapon that was potentially going to be drafted in this, but unfortunately Drew decided to steal him, unfortunately, which that really sucks. And I'm not happy about it because you keep taking my picks now, but we're all big fans of Travis Kelce. He's the best tight end in the league for a reason. Guy's fantastic. Can't really complain with the pick there, pairing him with Patrick Mahomes, but I'm going to take my quarterback now. I'm going to go with the young stud himself. He already took his receiver off the board. I'm going to go with Josh Allen, baby. Let's go. Maybe he's not the second best quarterback in the league, but had an incredible year last year. The guy's got a great skill set, and I think pairing him with Tyreek Hill specifically is absolutely a match made in heaven. I think if Tyreek was to get traded to any team in the league and you could pick his destination, I think I would take Buffalo because I think that's a perfect spot for a perfect receiver for Josh Allen to showcase his arm talent too. And he's fantastic.
Really, really good pick there, Chris. I was debating about just taking him, just doubling down on quarterbacks. There are so many good quarterbacks in the league. I feel like I can, now that I have Mahomes, I can wait and get a guy later in the draft. But yeah, I'm a big Josh Allen fan. Maybe my favorite player in the whole NFL right now. Yeah, Roman, do you have anything to add before Chris gets into his next pick?
No, it's a great pick. I think there's a couple of quarterbacks I would have taken over Josh Allen, but I think he's going to be a great pick for you. And I guess you don't have to worry about that position until the end, really.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna jump into my next pick, and I'm actually gonna go the route of Drew. I think I'm gonna take a tight end here because I do think there's a drop off after this player. So I'm gonna go George Kittle. Pretty no brainer pick for me here at the tight end position. There's another really good tight end, but I'm still gonna take George Kittle. Not gonna live on the recency bias of Kittle having the injury. He's a fantastic talent at the tight end position. There's an argument, at least for long-term perspective that he's going to be the best tight end in the league for sure in a couple of years once Kelsey slows down finally, which seems like never is going to happen because he's so fantastic. But, Kittle right there with him in the elite tight end room.
Yeah, you really messed up my strategy there because I was going to go tight end again with this next pick. But yeah, I don't even really like Mahomes or Kelsey, and Josh Allen and George Kittle are probably my two favorite players in the entire NFL right now. But I think Mahomes and Kelsey, objectively speaking, are better. So, although my quarterback and tight ends might be better than yours, Chris, I am extremely jealous of your guys. You have those positions right now.
Appreciate it.
And if Roman, you don't have anything else to add, I'll hop into my next pick. Here, oh man, it's tough. It's really tough because I don't know what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to keep talking to stall for time. I think I'm going to go, you know what? Just screw it. I'm going quarterback. I'm not going quarterback. I'm going to go running back. I'm going to take Alvin Kamara. I think Alvin Kamara is a really good running back. I think he went really high last year in our draft, or maybe a little bit lower. I don't really remember, to be honest. But he's a really good running back. I think he was really good last year. I was a little concerned there who's going to play quarterback for them, but he's still a good running back. I like the dynamic he can bring both on the running game and through the air. So I'm going with Alvin Kamara.
You did have Kamara last time in your draft. I think he's going to be a good pick for you. I think there was a couple running backs that we didn't know. They were kind of up in the air considering their 2020 season that they had, but I'm sure they will be picked in this draft at some point. But I'm curious to see where they'll end up.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add. Kamara, fantastic running back. Honestly, Roman, this might hurt your feelings a little bit. I had Alvin Kamara ahead of Derrick Henry in my running back rankings because I think to any offense he brings in terms of versatility, I think he's a better running back out of those two, personally, honestly, in terms of just pure versatility. Henry, maybe the better pure runner, but this is a passing league. I want that Alvin Kamara dual threat skill set at least.
Yeah, well, speaking of dual threat, I was thinking of taking Kamara with my pick, but I'm going to go with another running back, a dual threat like you like, Chris. I'm going to take Christian McCaffrey. Did not have the full season of health in 2020, but obviously he's one of the best running backs in the league, and I think he'll have a bounce back here in 2021.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I was going to go with Christian McCaffrey as my next pick because, I'm the only guy without a running back right now. But, there's still plenty of good running backs. That's why it's a position that I didn't want to fill right away because there's a lot of talent on the board still. And I don't have to – technically, I only have to worry about – I could take them with the last two picks if I really want to, but I'm not going to because I do have my last pick in the draft already etched in my brain. So I'm gonna save the suspense for the last round. But, Roman, go ahead and jump into your other pick.
Yeah, I guess you two taking tight ends kind of have to force my hand here before you take probably the third best tight end in the league, who I think is still going to be a great tight end on my fantasy team a couple of years in a row. I love this guy. I'm taking Darren Waller.
Yeah, no arguments there. That was the other really good tight end, and I think in the polls you're getting a fan favorite here. I think there's no one that doesn't like Darren Waller. So it's a very good pick. And I think Waller brings a lot of the same skill sets the other two has. I think the other two are definitely the 1 and 2, but I think there is a big drop off there's a bigger drop off after Waller than there is between him and those two guys personally.
I agree.
Yeah. He's an obvious pick there. I think those three guys are basically like receivers almost. They're not just not just tight ends. So that's why I'm pretty sure they went high in our drafts last year. And it's a big reason for that. Looking at my board right now, I don't have really my wide receiver positions not filled really at all at the moment. There's just no guys on this list that I'm just like, oh my God, I need this guy on my team. So I'm just going to go with the guy that I like a lot because I'm looking at right now. I think you guys each need one more guy. This is a guy who I think is going to get taken. I like him a lot. Hoping he goes to a different team. With a better quarterback because he's never had a quarterback really in his entire life. His best quarterback is probably Mitchell Trubisky, maybe. But yeah, I'm going Allen Robinson. I like him a lot, and yeah, I don't really care. So yeah, he's my guy here. My wide receiver too.
I mean, it's not the guy. I thought you were going to go a different direction. I'm not saying that doesn't make it a bad pick. It's a very good pick. I love it. I love Allen Robinson. I was really high on him going into this year. I think he delivered on those expectations, both in real life and fantasy. I really just get this dude a quarterback, man. That's all we need, man. Just get him a quarterback. It's as simple as that. If he goes back to Chicago and they don't have Deshaun Watson, I think he's insane, and they screwed him over yet again. He's get him a quarterback. It's as simple as that. But
yeah, rumor has it he might go back to Jacksonville too, so that'll be very interesting to see if he can pair with Trevor Lawrence. But
yeah.
He definitely needs a better quarterback. He's been very unfortunate so far, and is similar to Gallaudet, where they're both good wide receivers, but they haven't been able to display their full talent yet. So I think they both need to find better situations.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. All right, so I'm gonna jump in now. I'm gonna go with my third wide receiver just to take this guy off the board. This is actually who I thought you were gonna go with. I don't know if he's the 7th best receiver in the NFL. He probably is not, but a guy that's had 2 seasons in the league. There's already an Ole Miss receiver off the board. I'm taking AJ Brown here. I think in terms of skill position draft, I think he's extremely versatile. I think he pairs really well with my other 2 receivers, being that kind of underneath guy that can create after the catch. I got that deep burner. I got that red zone threat. I think AJ Brown's a perfect fit for my offense personally.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. I was definitely considering pairing him with DK Metcalf. That'd be pretty cool. But
that would have been cool.
He's definitely an up and coming wide receiver, and I was definitely going to consider taking him.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at him. I don't know. I feel like after, like I said, after like the Diggs, Hill, Adams, and Hopkins, it's kind of like there's like this weird middle ground where they're all pretty interchangeable. So
I agree with that.
I think Allen Robinson and AJ Brown are pretty comparable. But yeah, overall, I still like the pick. He's still a good player. You just got to stay on the field. He doesn't get banged up a lot. I think he was playing like with one knee last season, basically. So hopefully he can have a healthier 2021 with Ryan Tannehill and have a really good year.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Drew. All right, I'm going to go. You know what? I don't really need to take another running back because I really only have to worry about one name, and I still have 4 on my list that I really like. So I'm going to go with another quarterback here. And, I mean, I don't really know how to judge a backup quarterback. I'm just going to take who I think is the next best quarterback in the league. And this might be a little bit of a surprise to you, but I'm going to go with Deshaun Watson. I think he's incredible. I want to take him off the board, especially now because Roman is not happy. And I wasn't even going to go quarterback, actually, if that makes you feel any better. I was actually going to go with a running back there, but I did not.
Well, I'm a bit cheated now because you took Josh Allen, now you have Watson. I wanted to pair Watson with his former wide receiver and DeAndre Hopkins. That'd have been another sweet connection, but thanks for that. You pulled the rug right under me, Chris.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Go ahead, Drew.
I think that's a really good pick. I think you said he wasn't the second best quarterback. I think he might be the second best quarterback in the league, possibly.
Awesome. Glad I stole that pick from you guys. But just make sure you switch him to QB too. That's what I was gonna mention. There you go. All right, Drew, you're back on the clock, man.
Okay, so I was considering running back, but seeing that Roman's already got both his running backs and Chris does not have another pick until my next pick, I'm not going running back right now. He needs a quarterback or a receiver, so that's probably where I'm going to go. I'm looking at the quarterbacks right now. Here. I don't think I do though, because I'm looking at the board and there's at least 3 guys that I would be comfortable taking with my next pick. So I'm going to wait on quarterback. I'm going to go wide receiver. I think I'm going to go with the guy who I almost took. I actually was going to take him instead of AJ Brown. I would have taken him over him. Had a really, really nice season last year. Got a new head coach. I think, I'm wearing a Falcons shirt. I jokingly said I'm going to take an Atlanta Falcon before. So I'm going Calvin Ridley. I think he had a really nice season last year, and I think he's going to do really well again this year. It's contingent on the fact that Matt Ryan stays in town. They still have a decent quarterback. But yeah, Chris, I don't know why you're not happy because there's a bunch of receivers on the board. You already have your receiver set.
I already got my receivers, and that's part of the reason I'm upset because it was a complete oversight by me. I love Calvin Ridley. He's one of my favorite receivers in the league, and I 100% would have taken him over A.J. Brown. I couldn't agree more. This is complete oversight by me. I know we were kind of talking about how our research was a little bit more limited this year than it was last year. This is one of the guys that I just totally missed out on, and I am heartbroken that I forgot him because I think I would – while I love A.J. Brown, I would 100% – I agree 100% I would take Calvin Ridley over him, and that might hurt my draft stock a little bit, but I'm just telling you the truth. I freaking love Calvin Ridley. I think he's fantastic.
I thought you were going to go in a different direction with what you were prefacing with, but yeah, Calvin Ridley makes the most sense for you. I thought maybe you could have drafted Julio Jones, but he's a bit too old. I don't know if he's going to go in this draft. He did last time. But I like that pick.
Stings, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Roman, I have a feeling who you're going to go with your wide receiver 3 here, but you might not. You don't even need to take him right now because Chris and I already stacked that wide receiver.
I don't think you do know who I'm going to take as my wide receiver 3. I will take him though because I do have 2 quarterback slots open. I'll wait to my second pick in this draft. So there's some good wide receivers still on the board. But I think I'm just going to go with a wide receiver who proved to be better with a rookie quarterback last season, getting a new head coach. I was very surprised with him and what he was able to accomplish because it seemed like he was fading, but now I think he's going to be resurgence back to where he used to be. I'll take Keenan Allen.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good pick, man. I'm a little bit surprised, but it's another guy I kind of overlooked, I guess, on this list. Now that we're all done with the receivers, while he had a super down season, I cannot believe nobody drafted Michael Thomas. Seriously, I think he's better than AJ Brown personally, but I don't know. For my team, in terms of team build and the fact that I like AJ Brown so much, I went with him over Michael Thomas. But I definitely think he is still a top 9 wide receiver in this league, and for sure better than at least 4 or 5 of the names on this list.
You can go.
Okay. So other wide receivers I was considering was Kenny Gallaudet, obviously. Set out most of, or was hurt for most of 2020. And I was even maybe considering Justin Jefferson a little bit, but I do think Keenan Allen is more experienced and better. So I'm happy with my wide receiver group. I think all 3 of us got some good wide receiver cores.
Yeah, those are the 2 guys that I thought I was going to mention too. Gallaudet was the obvious choice I thought you were going to go with there, Roman, because I figured you were definitely going to take a Lion. But I guess I was wrong.
Don't worry, still got Jared Goff on the board. But yeah, the other names that were interesting for me besides a couple of those guys were Terry McLaurin and Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans was a guy that definitely could have been drafted in this for sure, especially as a red zone threat. If I didn't get Devontae Adams, I most likely would have gone with him instead. But we'll let Roman jump into his second pick here.
Yeah, I do have to take a quarterback now. I'm still kind of salty you took Watson from me. There are some actually really good quarterbacks still available, but I have a bad taste in my mouth because of a couple of them. I'll explicitly tell them. Russell Wilson, he started off great in 2020, then absolutely fell off a cliff. I would happily take him, but it's just a bad taste. And Lamar Jackson had a rough start to 2020. He actually brought it back up a little bit. Other quarterbacks, I'll mention Rodgers, Kyler Murray. And a secret weapon I'm going to save until my last pick as my quarterback
I
too.
think I know who it is.
Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, one of the 2.
I'm going to take Lamar Jackson. He had a great end of the year, and I'll happily take him on my team. Even though he wasn't one of my highest ranked quarterbacks, I'll happily take him now. And he has a dual threat capability, so sure, why not?
I mean, Lamar. He's still a great quarterback. There's definitely some guys I had on my list before him, including the 3 names already on there, and then 2 other guys. So I'm curious to see. Actually, honestly, I think I would take 3 other guys, but I'm really curious to see who Drew's other quarterback he's planning on taking is. And I'm assuming he's going to go with him here unless he goes with a running back. Nope.
You are completely wrong, Chris. Once again, I don't need to stop guessing my draft strategy here because I'm not taking quarterback. Going running back, there's 2 guys that I think that have not been taken yet. One guy who has had injury issues in the past, but played majority of last season, had a really big year. And another guy who was injured for majority of last season. But I think I've been seeing these yogurt commercials and him just like getting really back in health. And he's like ready to go. And I'm just motivated. And you see these workouts of him like just lifting an insane amount of weight on his thighs. I think he's a really good player. I think the Giants last year were a good team without him, and I think adding him will be even better. So I'm going with Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, that really stings, man. I am not happy you just took Saquon. I figured he would be one of the 2 running backs I got to take with this next pick because I'm going back-to-back running backs here. Like I said, I already got my last pick in the draft, my second tight end. So the first running back I'm going to take, and I actually believe, might be a hot take, but I actually believe he is the best running back in the NFL if we're talking about just pure talent, and that's Nick Chubb. I think he's fantastic. After watching him this year, the dude breaks away more runs than anybody I've ever seen in my life. This guy is so explosive. No, he's not a great pass catcher, which probably makes him not really a consideration for best overall running back in the league. But in terms of pure runner, I think he is the most talented in the league and is just totally incredible. I mean, coming off a knee injury, this dude was still one of the top rushers in the league, and especially just breaking off huge runs. And I think he's incredible, man. I love Nick Chubb.
Yeah, Nick. I think he got take. I think I took him last draft, and I'm pretty sure I got shredded for it if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe not.
I don't
But he
think
had
you
a
did.
really nice season last year. And yeah, I mean he's a solid. He's not the guy I was alluding to when I was debating between him or Barkley. This guy or Barkley. It was not. This guy was not Chubb. I'm
Yeah,
assuming you're
I know
probably
who
going
it
to take
is.
him
I
with his
know who
next
it is.
pick.
Yeah.
But Chubb, he's probably be the third guy on that list of guys in my opinion.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
nothing to add here. I like the pick. I'm interested to see who your second running back is, although I think I know who it's going to be.
yeah. I'm not going to go quite as much of a thunder and lightning approach as Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey, but I'm just going to go with two really talented running backs. And yeah, it really didn't matter. This is another one of the best pure runners in the league, but has some health concerns. So it's maybe a guy that would excel in more of a change of pace role playing with Nick Chubb, and that's Dalvin Cook. I think, an incredible season for him. Like Drew said, highlighted the injury concerns. He's definitely very injury. There's an injury risk there for sure. But in terms of when he's on the field, he makes your team a lot better, which you can't say about every running back. Every running back on this list for sure makes their team better. But I don't think there's that many more guys in the league that really separate themselves from the pack. So I think in terms of running back list, I think this would probably be my top 6 running backs in the league in terms of just pure talent, most likely.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Some other running backs who I was considering, it would probably be a little bit of a stretch, but Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, I think both worth considering. Definitely top 10 running backs in the league, but we couldn't fit them in on this draft. But I just want to give them the recognition because I think they were good picks anyways.
Yeah, I agree too. It was a good pick. I'll chop into my next one here. So I know, Chris, you're probably going to think I'm going quarterback again because you keep guessing. We're trying to guess my draft strategy, but I'm not going quarterback because Roman kind of tipped his hand there last pick. He listed a bunch of guys, and then he said how he was going to go off the board. So I'm like, okay, so most of those guys are probably still going to be available when I come around. And in my opinion, there is one clear cut of these next tier of tight ends. There's one clear guy. And you already know who I'm going here, guys, because I'm a homer. I like the Lions, so I'm going TJ Hawkinson right here. You got to get a Lion in here, and I think he's the next best tight end. And I looking at some of the other tight ends, and I knew Roman was going to go Hawk. There's another guy too that I think is pretty good, but I like Hawkinson. I want him on my team. I think he's better than the other guy that you could maybe argue instead of Hawkinson, so I'll go with him here with my tight end 2 spot.
I did not like that at all. I wanted Hawkinson. You said I wasn't going to draft a Lion, and I was going to be like, boom, here's TJ Hawkinson. But I guess you took him right out from under me.
Jared Goff is still on the board, so you can always go with him. But yeah, no, I have no complaints with the pick. He's definitely better than the tight end pick I have on the board, and you'll see who that is in short time, and I'll let Roman take it away for his final 2 picks here.
Yeah, I'm also going to go for my tight end 2. I thought Hawkinson was maybe a clear-cut 4th best tight end in the league. There's a couple guys who I think are worthy to – I think they're going to be drafted. This player who I'm going to take did not have necessarily the best season in 2020, but I think if he's healthy, he'll be able to get it together. I'm taking Mark Andrews.
Yep.
I'm happy he's on my team, and he's going to be paired with his quarterback in Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, no, that's the chalk next pick for sure. Honestly, okay, if you're talking non-Lions fans, he's the 4th best tight end in the league. I'm sorry, man. Like, he's definitely better. He's better than TJ Hawkinson as of right now in terms of what he is. The last 2 years, I mean, he's been near the 1,000-yard mark. He's a red zone threat. Obviously, Hawkinson's still up and coming, so he's probably going to end up being better in terms of just talent in the next couple of years. But I would have taken Andrews over Hawkinson if it wasn't a spite pick for me, at least. Hawkinson would have just been to keep him away from you guys, and Andrews is more just I actually want him on my team, I guess, so that makes sense. Over TJ Hawkinson.
I don't know. I think Hawkinson's a little bit better. I mean, I like the potential there. I think it's close.
Fair.
It's like apples and oranges. I mean, I don't know if that's it's not. Yeah, I think that's the saying. They're pretty close, and I don't think it's like So I just wanted Hawkinson because I like him on my team, and I feel like the upside, like you said, is a little bit better there than Andrews. But Andrews was definitely the guy I was alluding to. The 2 guys that I think are pretty close. I think the top there's top 2, and there's Darren Waller. And then there's these 2 guys, and then I feel like there's a little bit of a drop-off after that, in my opinion. But we'll have to wait and see who Chris takes with the final pick of the draft. But Roman, I'll let you take your final pick of the draft.
Yeah, so obviously he's going to be my quarterback too. And if you look at my wide receiver core, Hopkins, Metcalf, Allen, all 3 of their quarterbacks are still available, as well as Rodgers and a couple other good players. I do want to go off the board a little bit. I'm going to get some flack for this, I'm pretty sure. But as a quarterback too, I don't think it really matters as much. Give me Justin Herbert as my quarterback too. I'm happy he's on my team. Had a great rookie season. Yes, I picked him over Rodgers or Murray or Wilson, but I think he has a lot of potential, and I was very happy with what I saw with him in year one.
Look, man, I don't fault you for the pick at all. In terms of fun factor, Herbert's up there in the top of the league, and he had a great year, and I think he's going to build on that this year. So, I mean, personally, I'm not going to give you too much trash. Like, he's definitely not the fifth best quarterback in the league. That's for sure. He's probably closer to – he might be outside my top 10 just because he's a rookie. But in terms of talent-wise, he's up there for sure. You can't argue him with any of these other guys. That the potential is definitely there for sure. I like the pick.
Yeah, I really like the pick because that's definitely not who I was going to take with my next quarterback. So my strategy worked out perfectly. I think I'm pretty in line with Chris's take. I think the upside's definitely there. He's a really exciting player. But I think there's clearly some guys that are better than him.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I wanted to be a little bit off the board. I think he's going to be a little bit of an interesting player moving forward. Hopefully, he can replicate what he did year one. And I just wanted to give him some recognition because we obviously seen the other guys and what they can do. I just wanted to show some love to a rookie.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see for his year two if he does the same, if he does more of a Mahomes or Lamar leap in year two where they won the MVP, obviously, or if it's more of a Kyler Murray year two where he's good, but he's not like
a Baker Mayfield
MVP level, or a Baker Mayfield year two where he really regresses. So it'll be interesting which of those three scenarios plays that for Herbert in 2021. It is nice that they have a new coaching staff. Eckler will hopefully be healthy for most of the season. So I'm not dissing the pick. I like Justin Herbert, but I think there's clearly some better guys than him on the board. Just to name a few guys who, before I make my final pick, who are not going to get selected, somewhat shockingly, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady. You got to give some love to Tom Brady. Ryan Tannehill, am I crazy? He's pretty good. Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, obviously with the Rams. I think he could have a really big season this year. And you can't forget my guy Jared Goff there in Detroit, or even Joe Burrow too, coming off the ACL. I think he'd be a really good pick. But I mean, come on, the MVP of the league. There's no way I can't select him. I don't like the Packers, but I went with the Lions homer pick last time, and the fact that Aaron Rodgers is still on the board really played right into my hand. I got 2 of the last 3 MVPs. If you ask most people, probably the 2 best quarterbacks in the league right now, and Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. So I'm pretty happy about how this draft turned out for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a chalk pick here for sure. He probably should have went a lot earlier than that. It was mostly just the fun factor of having guys like Josh Allen, have a guy like Deshaun Watson on my team. In terms of fun, I would rather have them, and I think they're close in talent. I think they're maybe more talented at this point in their career in terms of potential, but in terms of who's the best quarterback right now? Aaron Rodgers is right up there at the top of the list. Some of these guys, they're looking to get up to that level. I think, potential, yes, they could get there, but you took the guy that's already on the mountain. You know what I mean?
I think Aaron Rodgers is super entertaining to watch, though. I mean,
he's fun to watch.
Yeah, I think he's
not as fun as Josh Allen, in my opinion.
The recently engaged Aaron Rodgers. So
yeah, exactly. He's married to a very attractive actress. Congratulations to both of them. And so now he's on my team. So I mean, I think he won the MVP. Okay, here we go again. This is exactly what happened last year in fantasy. It was like Aaron Rodgers might tail off, and then I got him in like the 23rd round, and he ended up being a top 5 quarterback. So I don't like him, and I don't like the Packers, but he's just hearing doubters like you, Chris, and he's going to win the MVP again next year. That's my hot take.
All right. Well, I didn't really trash him, but that's all right. All right. So I'm going to jump into my last pick here. You'll have to give me a ruling on this one. That's a spoiler alert for this because I don't know if I'm allowed to take this player or not. But I am going with the player that is not currently in the NFL, and that is a player that I already consider to be the 6th best tight end in the NFL without playing a single down, and that is University of Florida tight end Kyle Pitts. Am I allowed to draft him?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I consider taking Trevor Lawrence, if I'm being honest.
Right, and I was too, for sure.
Played out, so sure.
I'm going with Kyle Pitts because I hate the rest of the tight ends in the NFL after these 5 guys. I mean, the only other guy I had in consideration was Noah Fant. I don't even think he's the 6th best tight end in the league. I just wanted him because he's fun to watch. But I think Kyle Pitts instantly comes in as a borderline top 5 tight end in the league. He's already better than 90% of the league's tight ends. He's been comped to Megatron as a tight end prospect, and that is incredible. Some teams don't even list him as a tight end. This guy, you're going to be hearing me plenty when we get into the draft. This is my love affair of this draft is Kyle Pitts. I am obsessed with him. I think he's going to be fantastic, and he's one of the best players. And this is a tight end I would draft in the top 5 for sure of the draft, which he won't go in the top 5, but I think wherever he gets taken, that team is extremely lucky and got a bona fide star tight end.
I probably would have. Oh, you wrote me to go.
Definitely off the board. I don't fault you for it. I think that's a great pick to end off the draft. Although some other guys I was considering would have been Rob Gronkowski. Obviously had a good 2020 season. I think he has something left in the tank. Like you said, Noah Fant, maybe Robert Tonyan potentially. But I think we got all the best tight ends in the league on our team, so I think we should all be pretty happy with that.
I would have taken 2 guys that you didn't even mention, Roman, over Kyle Pitts personally. Evan Ingram and Dallas
you're
Goedert.
kidding!
I would have taken both of those guys.
Evan Ingram, he might get replaced this year by Kyle Pitts. People are mocking him to go to the Giants. That's a joke.
The talent there, though.
Who was the second tight end you mentioned?
Dallas Goedert too. I think Dallas Goedert was. I think Dallas Goedert and Noah Fant are both. If Zach Ertz leaves, Evan Ingram, I get it. If he loses his job, obviously that's not great. But Goddard and Noah Fant, I think I would probably have taken before. Because Fant, he's got the injury issues, but when he was healthy last year, he was really good. If maybe Deshaun Watson or they upgrade their quarterback, or even another year of Drew Lock, I think Fant could have a really big year. Yeah. Same with Dallas Goedert. If Zach Ertz leaves, Jalen Hurts there, I think he could also have a really big season. But
I mean, yeah, those are definitely 2 guys that like you could probably take over him. But I mean, you guys by mentioning about Rob Gronkowski, Robert Tonyan, you're basically just illustrating my point that the tight end position isn't very good. And no disrespect to Gronk or Tonyan, they're both fine players, but I'm not taking them over Kyle Pitts. I'm sorry. I think that's a no-brainer pick. I think Pitts comes into the league already and is a very close to top 5 tight end, and is why I took him. I just didn't really like any of the only other name I really liked on the list was Noah Fant. I don't think he's the 6th best tight end in the league either. He really hasn't shown an insane amount. He shows flashes here and there, but in terms of, he's not as good as CJ Hawkinson, that's for sure, in his second year. And I think Hawkinson clearly proved he was the better pick of those 2 tight ends that were, played for the same team and all.
I hope your pick pans out. I think we'll be looking back on this in a year or so and seeing how he has developed. But I do think he's going to be a great prospect, and he is a top 10 talent, but he'll be lucky to go, or any team would be lucky to have him.
Especially the Giants, who don't have a tight end right now. I can't believe you just said you'd rather have Evan Ingram than Kyle Pitts. Yeah, Evan Ingram is maybe the worst starting tight end in the NFL. I can't stand him. He's terrible. He's so bad.
Take. That's
He's
just
terrible.
Not accurate. You tell me I would rather have Evan Ingram than Rob Gronkowski. Actually,
exactly.
I'd rather have him than Robert Tonyan for sure.
I would not. Consider no. He's terrible.
Okay, Robert Tonyan. Okay, whatever. We're not having a Robert Tonyan argument right now. Let's just talk about real quick the draft, and we'll conclude the episode. Who do you think has the best team? Who do you think has the worst team? Who has the best position group? What do you guys think?
I mean, going off in terms of the draft, I'm not going to say who has the best team until we kind of talk about it, but I think I do have the best wide receiving core of the three of us with just Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams. I think it makes it clear and obvious that I have the best receiving core. No shame to you guys at all. You guys had a great draft, but I think I do have the best wide receiver room. I like Drew's quarterbacks the most, and then I think I'll take Roman's running backs. And then I'm going to take my tight end room. It's not probably the best of the 3 of us. It's probably Drew's again, but in terms of what I think of Kyle Pitts, I mean, you guys clearly don't agree quite yet, but I think he's going to be right up there with the top guys in the league as soon as after this season. Maybe it'll take him a couple of years with the rookie development of tight ends being kind of tough. But I think in a couple of years, this guy, you're going to be mentioning him maybe even over these top generational talent tight ends.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Drew has the best quarterbacks. You have the best wide receiver. I have the best running backs. Depends on how you value them. I think it's pretty all evenly split. Yeah, it's a passing league, but at the same time, I want some good running backs as well. And we said these names a little over the course of the draft, but like you said, the Kyler Murray, Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, it's surprising that they didn't go off the board. And there's a lot of players from that last draft who didn't go as well. Just kind of show you how the natural ebb and flow of the league, some players do better than others. It's a different occurrence every year of who's in the top 10 exactly. But I think we pretty much nailed these drafts out of the park. I'd be happy with any of these teams. And you got anything else?
Not really. I think the running backs. I mean, all the running back rooms are really stacked. I think it just shows
Right.
like how deep the running back position is. Maybe how a high level running back is irrelevant in today's NFL. I don't know what it means, but I mean, all of them are really, really stacked. I was really because I think last time we did this last year, I remember one of us had some like weak running backs, but like all three of our running back rooms are really, really good. Even though Barkley and McCaffrey obviously missed most of last season with the injuries, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think we did good. But let us know in the comment section below whose team you think is the best, whose team you think is the worst. And also just maybe if you like a position group better, what was like the pick that surprised you the most? Do you think we're all idiots? Please let us know. We love to read those comments and respond. But yeah, well, that'll be it for this episode. Once again, we're the Zone Defense Podcast. We do have plenty of off-season content. We'll probably do a few more drafts like this one. We'll cover the NFL draft, talk about free agency or trade news. We did talk about the Carson Wentz trade last week, so if you haven't looked at that video, check it out. And we'll also do previews for the 2021 NFL season, in addition to Chris and I's weekly NBA Zone Defense Basketball Hour. So check all those out. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Spotify and Twitter at Zone Defense Podcast, and search us on Apple Podcasts. Like I said before, drop comments below, smash that like button. But that'll be it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
See ya.